Hey, lovelies, it's Bryony. Just a really a note to make it really clear that when we're navigating mother repair work after that we've had a rupture of in the mother line with the relationship with our mother, our ancestors, and also our own authentic nature, and that with life as well, with earth and with each other and with community and belonging. This is the mother rupture. When we go in to repair that, it is in the roots of it, shadow work. It's walking in the shadows. It's going into the exiled parts of yourself and your ancestral line and reclaiming those parts of yourself and parts of the story and parts of the connection in your ancestral line that have been cut away. When we have ruptures in connection, in the deep roots of our system of who we are, they're often ancestral, and they are absolutely cultured in the current systems and culture in which we live in. They are fostered in a system, hierarchical system of violence and oppression, which we have been cultured and shaped by for a very long time in our own history. Which means that that's how we are able to be so malleable to the system and shaped by other people's ideologies and ways of living, because we have been severed from our own true nature, the first attachment model with the mother, with earth, with community, with life, that has been severed and replaced with this ideology in how to live and how to be and how to connect and how to live our life through this very disembodied way of relating, of showing up, of resourcing ourselves externally, looking for the mother in the other instead of looking and connecting and having a relationship with the archetypal primordial mother in our system and in connection with community and belonging and ancestors on a day-to-day basis. What I mean really clearly and simply with that is that places and spaces and transitions in our life and who we are has been outsourced, have been pathologized. So when we hit a crossroads, when we hit a point in our life where there's transformation and change, because that is a given, that is the only thing that we can rely on in life, is that things will shift and change and transform. We are not equipped with the skills in order to meet that. So we are not equipped or have been mapped or shown a way how to navigate grief, how to navigate loss, how to navigate hormonal changes and thresholds like marriage, like a shifting in our community, like what's happening in the world right now. When we become parents, when we are navigating aging, caring for our aging parents or elders in the community, when we are hitting midlife, when we are moving from maiden to mother, to seer to crone, when we are navigating anger, frustration, pain, things in the system, in life that are very much the pulsation of life, but have been clinicalized. I don't even think that's a word, but it's been watered down in a clinical way where we have been taught or ideologized into, and I don't think that's a word either, into this particular way of what we expect it to be, because we are pushed, the systems of oppression and violence push this kind of way of living that is it's a pseudo way of living. It is not fulfilling. It really has us seeking support externally consistently. And in that external support, we are not fulfilled internally. That external support does not meet the pulsations and the depth in which we are feeling or navigating or confronting the current dynamic that we are with in life. So we avoid a lot of that pain and grief and anger, and we move around it. And those states, actually, they're great places for us to go in and learn about ourselves and refine who we are and retrieve resources and gifts of who we are and our ancestral line. And it's all very pivotal in how we live well and how we live collectively well. And because we don't have that mapping and that encouragement in the system, because the system wants us dependent on it, wants us resourced from it instead of within ourselves, in our community, within our ancestral lineage, within our own physiological, spiritual, emotional, energetic states. So mother wound work is shadow work. It's going in and retrieving, tending to the rupture and repairing it. And when with shadow work, you can't do that. You can't do that on your own. Like, it is another fallacy that the system tells us that we can do this on our own. We cannot do this in isolation. We need to do it relationally. We need to be guided in. We need to be guided through and guided out. It is really important. And we need those guides to have had that experience already. They need to have been in their own dark night of the soul and several times and had that full transmission and transformation and retrieval of their own unique or their own nature, and that reconnection back into community, repairing that rupture. It is shadow work. And shadow work is work of liberating. It's work of liberation. And shadow work, when it's done well and done properly, shadow work actually meets the pulsation point of life. It is political. It meets what's happening in the world, because shadow work is, by its very nature, in service of life, in service to life. And life within itself, collectively, it must serve the collective. So what's happening in the world right now, that needs to be tended. That needs to be met in the system to be fed back into the collective. So this is why it's really integral and important work that I do in and around mother repair to mother ruptures. Really important. But it is shadow work.